we want to get right into the conversations of what's happening on our news portals. Of course, it's a holiday. So because it's a holiday, the print media are resting. Yeah, just taking a short break. I'm sure they will all be, tonight, everybody will be running helter-skelter to print ready for tomorrow. But we have our online portals because online we don't sleep. Yeah. Let me introduce to you my brother. I don't know if I should say from another mother or we are from the same mother. I mean, I'm not sure. But yes, Nana Tufo is here.
Yeah, we're family like that. We're family like that.
So what's up?
I'm good, boss.
Yeah?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah,
I'm all right,
great stuff, great stuff.
It's a holiday, but we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, man's got to do what a man's got to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
At the end of the day, we got to break bread.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, today we have our online stories.
Yes,
And,
quite interesting.
Yes.
I mean, it's been a topsy-turvy type of weekend,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I just love the buzz when it's an election year
I know,
and the
and the
type
kind
of
of things.
headlines
I know.
that you come
I know.
across. It's
So-
always exciting.
So two things hit me this weekend, and
Right.
the one of them is the one that everybody's been talking about and all that. Nanado's comments,
It's Founders Day
about Founders
address,
Day,
yeah.
and the place of the founder versus the founders,
Yeah.
and all of that. So there was that. Then there was Kennedy Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was interesting. His call for humility and approaching the electorate with a certain kind of respect and admitting the failures.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting because it's quite uncharacteristic of a lot of politicians.
Yeah.
But I think for me, that's actually the winning stroke. If anything can be called,
I mean, it's interesting that Kennedy Japan is also saying the same thing because you recall that about a week or two ago, Kuku Kwating
Yes.
was also saying the same thing.
Yes.
Basically the same thing. So I think it's dawning on some members
Yes.
of the MPP that look, let's not play folly with Ghanaians anymore.
Yeah.
Let's tell them the truth as it is,
Yes.
and hope that by telling them the truth,
Yeah.
then we can move forward.
They'll back us up.
Yeah. I think it's important that they come to that realization that indeed times are hard. The economy is not in a good place.
Yeah.
And I mean, the first solution to every problem is admission, right?
Admission, yeah.
So if you want to admit to the people that look, this is the reality, but please
Yeah.
give us another chance to fix our own mess.
Yeah.
Who best to fix a mess than the one who created
it? Yeah.
So yes, I think it's in order. It's in. And if you know, I mean, Kennedy Japan, you expect some of these things
Yeah.
from him. He stands out
Yeah.
as one that would want to admit a problem before tackling it.
Yeah.
And if you've listened to him throughout his political career, the type of things he's been saying, I mean, this is no different.
Yeah.
And it's quite expected that
Yeah.
you say such a thing.
He doesn't shy away from what others will
Yeah.
consider difficult to
Yeah.
do. He doesn't shy away from that. And for me, it's not only impressive. I think it's the right thing to do. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Taking the electorate for granted is so not 2024. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be real. All right, let's get into the news headlines. What do we have?
Right, I'll take you to ChannelOneNews.com. Jubilee House is the headquarters of fake news. This is the flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, speaking. Lawyer, 4 others in court over forged will. Mutala urges Ghanaians to vote for Mahama, criticizes Bawumia's religious appeal. UG staff call for police intervention after sudden demolition in Achimota. Ashanti region, aggrieved Gold Coast customers suspend protests following government intervention. And then there's the Founders Day one. Ghana wasn't founded by one man. I reject that notion. This is President Akufo-Addo. Bawumia reiterates commitments to introduce flat rate duty at ports. Electric vehicles will cut transport fares by 40%. This is Dr. Bawumia speaking. Now, every plan in a Japadia document has been implemented by Akufo-Addo. This is John Mahama speaking. Ambulance case, we've always known at Atufo since acquittal was imminent. That's a Maliba. Korle, who totally laid down tools on August 6th, allied health professionals. And that's quite worrying.
Yeah.
I mean, if the composition of the Federation of Allied Health, they total about 80% of the entire workforce of Korle.
Yeah.
And you know, they have a roadmap they are implementing.
Okay.
So they started off somewhere last week by withdrawing OPD services. By Friday, they had withdrawn inpatient services. And now they are telling us that the national body is taking on their issue. And so we should brace for a nationwide strike on August 6th. That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's serious. It's going to cripple the health sector.
Yeah, it will not only cripple the health sector, but because the health sector is what it is, there'll be a ripple effect of that.
Exactly. Definitely. Definitely. And we don't need that.
No.
So they are saying that they are being managed under the hospital's medical directorate, which directorate, according to them, does not understand their issues. And so their affairs are not being properly managed. This is their concern. And so they are calling for a directorate that is dedicated to the allied health professionals that will better understand their issues, give them a director, appoint one of them as a director that will better manage their affairs. This is what they are calling for. We've not really had a proper response from Korle as to how why it won't set up this directorate for them. But we've heard the health ministry ask for 7 days to intervene. But they've come back and said that, look, this issue has been lingering for how long? You don't need 7 days. If you're serious about it, convene an emergency meeting now. Let's deal with the issues as it is. Tell us if you're going to set up this directorate. Yes. If not, let us know. And then we can also take a decision going forward. So I think the powers that be, the management of Korle, the health ministry, really need to sit now and address this. Because we don't want, I mean, already we are burdened with the no-bed syndrome. Already, even Korle itself currently doesn't have ventilators. People with brain tumor that are scheduled for surgery are unable to go for surgery.
You know,
I mean,
my struggle with how we do things in Ghana is, on one hand, I'm confused by some of the shenanigans that goes on in terms of, so let me take you back. During COVID, there was a big cry for local innovation, figuring out how can we help ourselves so that we are no longer at the behest of other nations. It's like if they don't give us, then we don't have. And so we started up a few things, right? We set up the facilities like Ghana East and so on. We eventually put up the National Vaccine Institute that will be looking after the production of vaccines locally. Then there were private initiatives like people like Mark Bagonluri, Prof.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Academic City.
Yes, Academic City. Yeah. They, at the end, were producing ventilators. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And their ventilators were interesting in the sense that they could be even manually handled and managed. Because their whole idea was not everywhere has regular electricity. So let's build something that can be used appropriately. Whether there's power or there's no power, it can still be used to save lives. We, on the other hand, will look at our health sector, and instead of, let's say, procuring, for example, helping somebody like Prof, right, finance his initiative, let's have locally produced 1,000 ventilators, right, that have the ability to function both on electricity and off-grid. Do you understand? And supply them to our various institutions that need them. We won't do this. No. We are going to China and Europe looking for expensive ventilators to import.
But you see, even
if is an inventor from the US who has accolades for his inventions.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Americans are using his inventions.
It's sad.
What's wrong with us?
It's sad. I mean, we should be using what we have,
Yeah.
but we are not.
No.
And you see,
So we're not even interested.
the bigger problem is that even if you won't use what you have, make provisions so that people's lives are
Yeah.
not cut short
Yeah.
because of someone's negligence or dereliction.
Yeah.
It's sad. We sat in this country, medical supplies were given to us for free, and we left it at the harbor for how long?
Yes.
It had to take agitations.
Yes.
I mean, how
Yeah.
do we think as a
but,
people?
But Nana, that's not even the worst one. Let me tell you the worst one that I right here on Breakfast Daily, we dealt with this issue, and I'm sure you are aware of it from the newsroom. Look, there was an NGO that had brought medical supplies for Tamale Hospital.
Yeah.
Right. The supplies were at the port. They said that they should send money to clear just very similar to this case.
Yeah.
They should send, yes, we've received the supplies, thank you very much, but please, we don't have money to clear
clear.
this.
Yeah.
It's like we are mad.
It's sad. I mean,
Something's
I
wrong
can
with us.
pull messages on my phone,
Something's
similar
wrong with us.
instances. A philanthropist from the US, but a medical professional,
Yes,
right,
yes.
brings in supplies,
Yes.
wants to organize an outreach
Yes.
to help check people's health.
Yes.
And he gets to the harbor,
Yeah.
and the duty and the taxes on the supplies
Yes.
far outweigh the original price of the goods he has
That
brought.
he has brought.
And he doesn't get it. So he's talking to me and he's saying that, look, this is to do your people good.
Yeah,
I don't
thank you.
understand. And after whatever it is, I am leaving all this behind.
Meanwhile, Nana, the people who have the power to waive the duty,
Yeah.
which they do when they feel like it,
Yeah. When it benefits.
them, there's a gaping hole in the health sector
Yeah.
that you haven't been able to fix.
True.
And somebody is coming to augment your paltry efforts. Then you are going to put impediments in their way.
It's sad. It's sad. You see,
Who are we?
it's how we regard the citizenry.
Yeah, I think so.
It's how we regard. If we
I
had
think
any
so.
respect
Yeah.
for the people of Ghana,
Yeah.
we would do better.
Yeah.
And we would treat Ghanaians
agree.
better. I mean, some of these things,
makes no sense.
health, education, it should be priority.
Yeah.
I don't see why we would want to toy with some of these things. And the power play, oh boy, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
sit with the people.
Yeah.
Jaw.
Yeah.
Let them raise their concerns.
Yes.
Find the legitimacy in those
Yes,
concerns.
yes.
Prefer solutions.
Yes.
Simplement.
It's
Why
just-
are we struggling with this? Oh boy.
Ghana. Oh man.
It's a difficult one. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
let
quite
me
difficult.
let me take us to citynewsroom.com.
Right.
Few headlines here. We have economic woes, admit mistakes and apologize to Ghanaians. This is Ken Ejapon telling the MPP. From the Western region, I'll make a fair constituency an MPP stronghold. This is coming from Boama. CPP, Nana Akufo-Addo's statement on Nkrumah is an unfortunate gaffe. Okay, some news from Boku. National Security Minister receives 6 million Ghana cedi monthly to tackle crisis. This is coming from Ayariga. Okay, you'll be rewarded for your generosity and vision for Ghana. Boku Naba to Mahama. You know, it's interesting how when everybody that goes to the chief, they give you funds. When you arrive, they'll give you funds.
It's even more interesting now that
Yeah.
we have the flag bearers, the two flag bearers, the MPP flag bearer, NDC flag bearer, all from the north.
Yes.
And when you listen to how they are addressed when they pay courtesy calls on
Yeah.
their chiefs,
Yeah.
I mean, this chief is telling Dr. Baumia,
Yeah.
you are my son, you
Yes.
are our son.
You are our son.
Mahama comes next week,
Yeah.
you are my son,
Son,
you are our son. I mean, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Like I keep
Yeah.
saying, I love election years. I mean, so many exciting stuff come up. It's just interesting to hear them. But I mean, these chiefs are vexed in the issues
Yeah.
of their jurisdictions.
Yeah.
And so it's important that some of these flag bearers take heed from the advice they are given by
Yeah,
these chiefs.
I agree.
If manifestos are not already done, they should be making
Include
inputs.
some of these inputs, yeah.
You understand? Because the chiefs will tell you the real issues
That
of
I
their
have on the
people.
ground, yeah.
I mean, as for the open meeting where they allow the cameras in, they'll say all the politically correct stuff.
Yeah.
But when you go indoor to meet the chief, they tell you plainly what the situation is and what you should be doing. So you can come in the open and play all the politics, make all the promises. But when you go indoor and you listen to the chief, please take cue from what they are telling you.
Yeah.
Because
Very
they
important.
are there with the people.
Very important.
Their people listen to them.
Yeah.
And they know the challenges of their people. The people send complaints to them.
Yeah.
They tell them exactly what it is. You understand? So when
Yeah.
these chiefs meet these political figures, they hit them and hits them hard with the realities.
Yeah.
But whether these realities will be taken and implemented and not just subjected to political jargon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important that they visit these chiefs and they hear them out, and sometimes, I mean, to a large extent, implement what the chiefs tell them. It will help them politically and, of course, benefit the nation in terms
as
of
well.
development. Yeah.
Let me give you two more here. Election 2024, Islam does not support lies, reject Baumia's deceptive actions. This is coming from Mutala. And the Achimota lands, UG staff and other residents vow to resist eviction by alleged private developer.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
It's interesting how we do this. And I mean, if you listen to the story over the weekend, it's like there's police there, but there are some persons who are unknown who are supervising this demolition. And you just don't get it. Who has the power? Whose work is it to ensure safety?
Man,
Whose work is it to protect?
There's a station right close by.
That's Motor Police Station.
is right close by. So yesterday, I don't know if you saw this thing that was making the rounds yesterday. I think it was like late afternoon, early evening, about Baumia's promise to build, not just Baumia, but it was the government's promise to build 16 model schools in the Zongo communities. I don't know if we have any updates on those schools, whether they've been built or not anywhere. If any have been built at all, because it's one of the things that I know was making the rounds yesterday. But I'm going to reserve this one for my news review guests to, to find out what they have to say about it.
I mean, we really need to look it up, look into it, and find out what has become of it. This government started off with some level of prioritization of Zongos across the country. There was, I think there was even a ministry.
Yes, there was. No, it was an authority.
An authority.
Yes.
Then there was a fund, the Zongo Development Fund.
Yes.
What is the state of our Zongos now? They should have been elevated by now and no longer called Zongos. If per the plans or per the promises we were told.
So I think there was an original, if I recall, Nima was going to be made like Villaggio. There was that one. I know the Kayaye hostel was built. That one has been built. It's up in Medina. But the schools I'm not sure about. And then Nima is definitely not looking anywhere close to Villaggio yet.
Good morning to the good people of Nima.
Yeah, good morning to you. I'm sure you're waiting for your promise, that promise to also be fulfilled. But hey, listen, it's an election year, and so let's pay attention to who is saying what and hold them accountable. All right. Do you have any stories you want to delve into?
Well, I mean, interesting headlines all across, and the politics, of course, also going on. I don't know if you want to do the Founders Day thing.
Why not? Let's deal with it.
Ghana wasn't founded by one man.
Yeah,
I
let's deal
reject
with
that
it.
notion. This is Akufo-Addo speaking. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has dismissed the idea that Ghana's independence was achieved by the efforts of just one individual. In his Founders Day address, the president emphasized his disagreement with the belief that Kwame Nkrumah alone was responsible for Ghana's founding. Quote, I speak to you this evening rejecting completely the notion that Ghana was founded by one man. While Kwame Nkrumah's contributions to our independence are undeniable, it is important to acknowledge for ourselves that the struggle for our nation's freedom was a collective effort spanning several generations, end quote. The president said in his broadcast. He argued that groups including Joseph Casely Hayford and Thomas Hatton Mills's British West African Nation Congress and several others contributed to Ghana's freedom and subsequent independence. The president went on to talk about the formation of the Aborigines' rights protection and all of that.
Yeah.
Basically, what he's saying is that, I mean, it was an initiative started over a period, admittedly crowned by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, but he does not believe or accept the idea that independence was the baby of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, or is the baby of Dr. Nkrumah. He believes that all efforts should be acknowledged equally.
Yeah. Well, you know what I would say to this? There's a reason why we have a term, primus inter pares, right? Everything that we do in our lives, there's someone's shoulders we're standing on.
Exactly.
Since Adam was created, everything has been done based on somebody else's efforts that has preceded ours, you know. And so, yes, I do agree that Kwame Nkrumah was not solely responsible. But I'm not sure anybody has ever argued that Kwame Nkrumah was solely responsible. I mean, look, we've been doing this Heritage on Air series when we do, you know, we have our Heritage Month. And every time, you know, Kweku Dako Ankra joins us or any of the other historians join us, there's all the rich history from the Aborigines' Rights Protection Society, the various groups that were formed at different points in time. So yes, all of those agitations we know have gone on. And so I don't think anyone has ever said that Kwame Nkrumah is solely responsible for taking us from 0 to 100. Do you understand? I don't think anybody has ever said that. But you can't also deny that there was only one president in 1957. Yeah. And that's Dr. Osajefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. You can't deny that. You can't deny that fact. You can't throw it away. True. You can shake yourself, do whatever whatever you want to do. It's the fact, it's there. And Nana, J.B. Dankwa.
Oh, it's letter.
No. I'm not going to read any letter. I'm just mentioning the names of the big six.
No, I just love the title of that letter.
J.B. Dankwa.
Nkrumah Strix.
Emmanuel Obechebe Lamte. So Joseph Boachi Dankwa. Emmanuel Obechebe Lamte. Ebenezer Akweje. William Ofuriatta. Edward Ekufuado. And Kwame Nkrumah. Of all these names, me, from the time I was a child, growing up, I've traveled to Malawi, to Kenya, to Zanzibar, to Belgium, to France, to South Africa. Every one of these places I've gone. If they say you're from Ghana, oh, Kwame Nkrumah. Is it me that is making them say it? No. Is it any Ghanaian that's making them say it? No. Even they know that there's one significant human being that represents all of us as a nation, and that is the Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And this is my opinion on the matter.
Well, it's this opinion that he disagrees with. You see, the president does not want to accept or agree to that fact. He wants, if we mention independence, all these names
must be mentioned. Okay, all right. So then let's mention everybody else before it.
He wants a celebration of the collective efforts.
Yeah, but you see...
Not an individual.
No, but you see, if that's the case, Nana, if that's the case, then let's recollect all their predecessors also and mention all of them as part of independence.
That would be a tall list.
Do you understand? We can't do that.
That would be a tall
We
list.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do that. Do you get it?
Anyway, yeah, I keep saying it. I mean, somebody needs to be identified or heralded for something. War is young men dying and kings celebrating. Basically, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And so the young man who died on the war front will not even be mentioned.
Yeah.
But history will say that King Kweku David conquered so and so
Yeah.
between 19
Always.
so and so to
Always.
19 so and so.
Yes.
And so definitely one name will pop up.
Yeah.
Someone would definitely be in the lead,
Yeah.
and that person will be celebrated
Yeah.
as such.
That's it.
I mean, this is the history
No,
we
and
have
I
grown
also
to
think
know.
that it's the same way that Nanado would like to be remembered as the one who introduced free SHS. The
Right.
same way. He wouldn't want to share
despite
that
free
platform.
compulsory basic education being in the constitution.
Thank you. And the
Wow.
fact that free basic education was already implemented.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's like he will still want to be remembered as the one who installed and insisted on free SHS and not share that space with anybody else. But there were others who did all kinds of things.
Who envisioned free education in the country.
Yeah, and even spoke about it and started the roadmap to implementation and all of that. Do you see? So anyway, it is what it is, man. Politics is very interesting. Nana, thank you very much.
I just love
for
it.
this
Thank you,
morning.
David.
Thank you very much for
Always
this
a
morning.
pleasure.
All right. All right. Well, sports is next. Don't go anywhere.
All right, you're welcome back. Now it's time for us to get into some sports. So it's all about the Paris Olympics 2024 games. And now Ghana's Benjamin Azamati and Abdul Rashid Saminu missed out on a place in the final of the men's 100 meters at the ongoing Olympic Games in Paris. The duo clocked 10.17 seconds and 10.05 seconds in their respective semifinals heats on Sunday, which was not enough to secure a place in the final later that night. Azamati crossed the finish line in 9th place in a contest won by Jamaica's Oblique Seville, while world champion Noah Lyles came second in the heat and eventually won the finals, clinching gold. Abdul Rashid Saminu finished 7th in the semifinals with 10.05 seconds, outpacing Africa's fastest man Ferdinand Omanyala, who ended the race in 8th. Ghana's next event is the 4x4 100-meter relay scheduled on Thursday, August 8 at the Stade de France.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised that Ferdinand Omanyala came last in that
Yes,
race, you
yeah.
know. But we have some more news. USA's Noah Lyles won the Olympic 100-meter title by 5,000th of a second. Can you imagine? 5,000th of a second from Jamaica's Kishin Thompson in a dramatic photo finish. Now, Lyles overhauled his rivals in the second half of the race to triumph by the finest of margins in a personal best of 9.79 seconds. Now, this was the same time as Olympic debutant Thompson, who led for most of the race, but Lyles produced a spectacular finish, successfully beginning his bid for a potential 4 golds at these games. You know, he's been making a lot of noise about collecting 4 golds this time, and he's taking his first one. United States former world champion Fred Korle took bronze in 9.81 seconds, edging out South Africa's Akani Simbine for the podium. Now, I was rooting for Simbine, seriously. I wanted Simbine.
It was a very dramatic
very
race.
dramatic.
Very dramatic race. And even when you look at the pictures, you're asking yourself, how did he win again?
Yeah.
How did he win?
So the way it's done, so they draw the lines. When they freeze the picture, they draw the lines and then they see whose
chest was out,
crossed first.
Yeah.
So your head can cross first, your neck can cross first, but whose chest crosses
exactly.
first is the way they do it. And so Lyles was just, I mean, I don't even think you can measure it.
It was a
with
very
the
strong
human eye.
race, It was a very tight race,
Very tight race,
But we're enjoying the Olympics. I hope you're enjoying it too.
Yeah.